Hello, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and I'm not alone to talk about these DLC courses of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I've also got the wonderful Mr. Alex.
Hello, yes, thanks for having me. I don't know what I was doing with that intro there. That was very unlike me. That was so generic.
That's alright, Alex. We all are generic from time to time, but we're not here to talk about genericness and that stuff. We're here to talk about the DLC courses of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
which visually are a little generic.
Yeah, we have a bit of mixed we have a mixed bag of feelings with these courses, and I thought it would be nice if we just went through them one by one and talk about what we feel, like what could be improved, what we like about these courses. And the first course is from the Golden Dash Cup, and it's Paris Promenade from Mario Kart Tour. So what do you think, Alex?
Paris Promenade is probably my favorite course.
Same.
In the DLC pack.
I think it's really good.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure we're going to talk about loads visually. So maybe I'll start talking about the actual course itself. So it's a standard loop for the first two laps. There's like alternate routes and stuff. Don't know whether they're necessarily faster, but it's alternate, so it makes me feel like I'm going faster. And I just really like it. I like the feel. I like the music. In 200cc, you can get some serious speed, but without it being too narrowing corners. They can still be challenging, but without being just tedious. I really like it. And then on the final lap, you go around it backwards. That was a lovely surprise when I first played it.
I think that's like a really, really cool thing that you go backwards. That could be like a main thing of the courses of the next Mario Kart game, that like all the courses, like you go backwards. I don't know. I just really like that feature, and it's one of the best courses to play in 200cc of the 8 new tracks, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really good fun and still has some challenging turns, but I would say that overall they're more satisfying than challenging, which is a hard balance to get, and they managed to do it, and on a track from bloomin' Mario Kart Tour, no less.
So going from our favorite track, we're probably going to the least favorite of the 8. It's Toad Circuit from the 3DS, and this one is really short, really rough. Definitely my least favorite. I don't know about you, Alex.
It's not even my least favorite. I think I actively dislike it. It's just, as you say, it's really short. Sort of the theme is, it's a race course with some floating giant toad balloons. It's got nothing going for it. And it's every single time, because we played this before recording this, didn't we? And every time we did that course, I did 3 laps, and I was like, oh, that's it. Like, I genuinely thought I was only on the second lap.
Also, I think visually it's one of the more lacking tracks. We'll talk more about the visuals after going through the tracks, but yeah, it's just like they put so much care into Paris Promenade and, Ninja Hideaway, and it's like, we'll also put Toad Circuit in there, and it's just...
Yeah.
Toad Circuits, that's a bummer, and I wish they would have...
It's filler.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have put it better.
If I went online and anyone actively chose this one, I would question them.
I would go so far to say that it's my least favorite track of all courses in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah, I genuinely think it's the worst.
Because in the main game, I genuinely think that all the courses are really good, except, Bone Dry Dunes or something like that. That's like the only course that... But yeah.
And even then, it's not bad.
No.
It's just average.
But going from Toad Circuit, the third pick here is Choco Mountain from the Nintendo 64. And I was actually surprised how much I like this track. I didn't have an N64, that's before my lifetime, but I played it on DS, and even though they changed the layout a lot, I really like going through the cave. That looked actually pretty good. It was a bit, again, on the short side, but the jumps at the end, the hills, that was good fun.
I have mixed feelings about this, given that Choco Mountain was one of my favorite courses from Mario Kart 64.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I like the cave, but the whole course feels like they've just kind of shrunk it down. It's been compressed. Like, it's really obvious on the bit at the end as you go around the lake. Before, that was like this big, grand, open part of the course, and now it's just kind of just a semi-large turn. It's it's sort of there and it's gone far too quickly. And as you say, the entire course is just so much shorter. I don't know, it sort of feels like it's got elements of Choco Mountain, but rather than being Choco Mountain, it feels a bit like a sort of a spiritual successor to Choco Mountain, if that makes any sense.
I feel like a lot of the tracks here are like that because it looks like they're using the layout from Mario Kart Tour. At least like Choco Mountain. I know Coconut Mall is not in the game, but I think it was data mined a long time ago. But yeah, moving from Choco Mountain to the next track, Coconut Mall. Yeah, I have very mixed feelings. I love the track, but they changed some major aspects of it. The escalators are now very obvious which one you should take, which I think takes a bit of the fun out of it. And the cars at the end don't move. They're just stationary without any me's on them. Now it's just a Shy Guy. Yeah, the music is banging. Wow, that still holds up.
It is absolutely baller, isn't it? And with the big band feel, with the sort of Mario Kart 8 flair. Yeah, it really comes alive. But I'm not as familiar with Coconut Mall as you are, because I didn't play a lot of Mario Kart Wii, but I still remember it's a very memorable track. And this doesn't feel as memorable. It feels... Is it just me, or is it actually shorter? It feels shorter.
I thought it felt shorter, but I can't speak for sure. That.
Yeah.
Also, they changed like all these metal parts in the turns to green carpets. I have no idea where that's from, but I'm not the biggest...
I mean, to be fair, you're more likely to find green carpet than a metal floor in a mall, so...
I mean, that is very true, so that might be why they did it. I love that the track is back, but I wish they hadn't changed it so much from the original.
Feels hobbled, doesn't it?
Yes, but that was the first course... what are they called?
Cup?
Yeah, that was the first cup of the two cups we get in this DLC. The second one is the Lucky Cat Cup, and it starts out with Tokyo Blur. Now, why don't you take this one, Alex?
Tokyo Blur's all right, but that's all it is. It's one of these strange instances where I love the fact that the course changes on every lap. Like, the actual circuit you do is different every single time. That's great. It makes it a bit like doing something like Mount Wario or something, but at the same time kind of familiar, and it throws you off, and we're going this way, and it allows you to explore, makes you feel a bit like you're exploring a city, but it's just not that interesting a course. Like, I'm pleased they've got the Womps in there, because without them, I don't mean Womps, do I? I mean Thwomps. I always get them confused. Without the Thwomps there, I feel that this would be kind of dire. Well, maybe not dire, but very uninteresting. And like the final lap, the big, the ultimate lap, what's it gonna do? You just go around sort of like a car park, like ramp. That's it, or like an on-ramp, I think would be called in America. Again,
the track is just really, really short, and I just wish it was longer, because I really like driving through the city, and each lap is different. I mean, they could have done so much with this. Like, imagine if you go to different districts on each lap, and it's just... I didn't notice the first time. I only noticed it the third lap that it was actually different paths, because all of the paths just look very similar, in my opinion.
Yeah, particularly certainly the beginning of the second and third track, because it is literally the same bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's okay. It's okay, but that's all this course is. I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
I will say that I thought that the course was fun, and although I didn't play it on tour, that's also why I think it was great to have it, but it felt a bit short.
Yeah, I like the theme. I feel like they could have done more with it.
Exactly. The next track on the list is Shroom Ridge, and I really like this track. I know that a lot of people might not, but I also think that's the nostalgia coming in from the DS, because that was my first Mario Kart game, and I just think, the music, and it's just a fun track, but it is again short, and it has some weird turns which are really sharp. And the cars feel a little out of place, but I think you can put it better, Alex. I know how you feel about it.
I don't like this course. It feels weird to be talking about Mario Kart 8 courses and saying, I'm not really sure I like this one, because I like all of the others in Mario Kart 8. Some of them are better than others, but yeah, with this DLC, it is much more of a mixed bag. I just sort of feel that this course has the biggest thing for me, there are too many blind turns to have vehicles on the road as well. So, sort of, if you're going to have blind turns, that's okay if it's just, it's just a standard race course. But then to put, like, traffic obstacles in as well, it just feels like, oh, come on, you're just asking to accidentally ram into something. And maybe you can remember the positions of the cars as you're going around or something. But that's not the point of Mario Kart, I just want to be able to have fun around it. And I don't really feel like I'm having fun just doing it. It's like certainly the last part of the course is just, it's a sharp left, it's a sharp right, it's a sharp left. It's just this snaking thing without any variance, and it's just it's not my bag, and I think it looks really boring.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely...
It's better than Toad Circuit, though. I'll give it that.
I think it's the worst track to play on 200cc because the turns are just way too sharp for 200. I mean, even on 150, that's that's doable, but on 200cc, it's just.
I've until this course, I don't think I've ever had to actually use the brake in 150cc.
But I like the track, but I totally see your point and why one might not like this track. But the next course is Sky Gardens from the GBA Mario Kart game, and I actually like this one, and I know you do too, Alex.
I do, yes. I think it's just good fun. Especially on 200. 150 is still good, but it's got some very tight turns, but it feels satisfying to complete them. It's not, this blind turn and, oh no, is there an edge, or is there going to be like a blooming lorry there or something? It feels really rewarding to get around this course really fast, and it's challenging, but not too challenging. I just really like it. It's very satisfying. The banking that they put in and everything, I just think it's good, and I like the style. I
also really, really liked it, like the small jumps, the mushroom. I mean, they changed it a lot from the original.
Oh, yeah.
And it is, again, I know I've said this tons of times, but it's just really short.
Yeah, it is a bit short, isn't it?
But I think it was one of the best tracks on this list, maybe behind Paris, Promenade, and I don't know. I really like Choco Mountain, but Sky Garden is a big plus for me.
I honestly think that they would fix the major problem with Sky Garden by just adding a fourth lap. Like, as simple as that.
And also, it's one of those tracks that I felt could have very easily incorporated some anti-grav stuff. Because that's so something easily. We haven't seen that in any of the 8 tracks. And we're going to talk about this after. But it's the main thing of Mario Kart 8. And I know that not everyone is fan of this, but at least in one of them, they could have had this.
It's almost like, I mean, and for other reasons, it almost feels like they're trying to distance themselves from what Mario Kart 8 was originally, and I'm talking on the Wii U, the original.
Well, we're now at the last track of the 8 tracks of the DLC Booster Pack 1. I don't know if that's what it's called.
It's a stupid name, isn't it?
But it's Ninja Highway, and I think you should start off with this one, Alex.
Ninja Hideaway... I like the concept of Ninja Hideaway, but I feel like the execution is a little bit lacking. There are so many just complete right angle turns, not smooth right angles, literally hard right angles. And some of them are immediately after something that it encourages you to do a trick off. And if you do a trick, like in all likelihood, unless you go off at an angle, you're just going to go bam straight into a wall. And it's not like it's you go off the course and you maintain a bit of speed, so you just recover. You just go bang, you hit the wall and you come to an immediate stop. That isn't fun, and there's several of those instances in this course.
I think I'm on another page with this level. I really like the track. I think it's probably one of the best visually looking courses of the 8 courses, and I just thought it was really fun. There was a lot of different paths to take. I don't know which ones were fastest, but it was just like, and you fly so incredibly high. Like I think it's the course where you fly the highest. You have so much control. You can either go way up high and take a path up there, or you can go down and through some sewers. But I totally get what you see, especially at the end on the rooftop. There's some really sharp turns, and on 200cc that was not very fun.
Yeah.
But the music is good. Visually, I thought it looked really good, and you said it was from WarioWare, which I totally missed the first times playing this.
I mean, I don't get the direct reference to WarioWare, as in, what exactly it's emulating. But it's very clear, you've got like garlic emblems around, and there's like a Wario moustache and everything. It's definitely WarioWare, and I can't tell you exactly why. But yeah, like I said onions, didn't I? I meant garlic. Or did I say garlic? Who knows?
You said garlic.
Oh, I'm okay then.
But also a thing is, why didn't they use the actual ninja characters as ninjas?
You've got ninjas. Why have you thrown in bloody Shy Guys that disappear all of a sudden? It doesn't make no sense. It's probably easier to use an existing asset than it is to create a new one. I get it, but come on, you've got ninja characters. Use them. But that's the courses, that's how we feel about them, how they, if you strip everything down, how are they to play? But there's another factor involved here, isn't there, Felix? It's the bloody visuals.
Yeah, they are great.
They're varied, shall we say? Yeah, I mean, overall, if you were to, if you haven't played Mario Kart 8 in, sort of a year or 6 months or something, and you just jump straight into the DLC courses, you might not necessarily notice that these are graphically, I'm just going to say, they're graphically inferior. And yeah, it's only when you if you start looking at them side by side, it becomes night and day comparison. For example, the biggest one is the grass, isn't it? Yeah,
you can see here on the 2 pictures that you can see the grass on the original, from the original game, and on Third Circuit it's just green. It's just no texture, nothing. It's just green.
Yeah.
I will say that they improved on the visuals a lot from the initial trailer, but it's still not there in my opinion.
Yeah, it feels like it's half done, to be honest. I mean, another really clear example is the Apex. Whereas on the if we look at the originals, the Apex has what's called bump mapping on it, so it looks like it's got a very fine 3D textured surface to it. It's an illusion, but it looks like that to the eye. But on the DLC tracks, it's just block color. It's not even textured, it's just a block color. And it just doesn't look good. Also, the lighting, if you look at it, the saturation is so much higher on these tracks, and not just on the tracks, but on the characters as well. The characters are so much more saturated. It's ridiculous.
I think that's also really weird. If you look at the bushes from Paris Promenade...
Oh my god, the bloody bushes!
But if we look at the bushes in Paris Promenade, they just look really bad. But then we look at Tokyo Blight, and they have almost the same bushes, but they look good. So it's like, why didn't they use
I wouldn't say they look good, but they look an awful lot better.
They look good in comparison. That was what I was trying to say. And why didn't they just use those in Paris Promenade?
I know! The asset's literally in the DLC. It's there! Why didn't you use the... Oh!
It's just like, you have the assets for the textures in the original game. Why don't you just bring some of those textures over to the DLC? It's just weird.
Yeah, and there's other things as well, like, I showed you a picture of this earlier this morning. The tires that you see just randomly on the course, you can see one in, like, the best comparison to Toad Circuit, I think, is the GBA Mario Circuit.
Yeah.
And you can see that the tires are not only more detailed, but they also have their own shadows whilst being in shadow, just like real objects.
Oh.
But there's no shadow, like, on the Toad Circuit at all.
Oh,
it's just there. It's just sort of floating. It doesn't actually look like it's there. There's no ambient occlusion or anything like that. It's just this thing sat there, and it's just so disappointing, isn't it?
I totally agree, Alex, but at the end of the day, you are racing around and the visuals aren't the most important thing. The most important thing is that the tracks are fun, but the weird thing is just that this is the same game we're talking about. It's two completely different art styles, and it just shows, at least in my opinion, that these tracks were very last minute. Like, they were doing Mario Kart, the next proper Mario Kart, but they saw Mario Kart just keeps selling. So what we'll do, we'll take some courses from Tour, we'll just make it, if you see a comparison here from Tour to these tracks, it's massive. It's a massive upgrade, but still, compare that to the original tracks, it's just, you can just see that there isn't that much care put into it like the original DLC courses.
Yeah, I think that's the best example, is the original DLC packs where you got things like Mute City and all that. They fit in beautifully with the rest of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No problems whatsoever. But these, when you actually start looking at them side by side, it's not even like... even if you look at the bloody toy box level that I've forgotten the name of.
Ribbon Road?
Ribbon Road, that's the one. Not toy box. Ribbon Road has taken that sort of bright, colourful objects and implemented it into the style of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or Mario Kart 8 originally, because it was on the Wii U as well. But these just don't. It feels like they've been slapped in.
Yeah, and I get some people really like the new art style, but if you're gonna do a new art style, just put a bit more care into it. It just it's really rushed, and it's just a shame because these tracks are really good, but they just lack in length and structure and also visually, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would. I'm a bit disappointed. A bit. There are some, I think Paris Promenade, if we just ignore the visuals, I think don't even cut that out. I think Paris Promenade is, probably, I'd say it's probably maybe in the top 15, maybe even the top 10 tracks of Mario Kart 8.
That could totally be in the main game. I really love that track.
Yeah, it's just good. I like the music. We've already talked about why we like it, but I can't reiterate enough that this is just a good track. I like it. I mean, visually, the bushes, my God. But it's a good course. If this was, if this was a mod, I'd be amazed at what they did with this.
Yeah.
Even the whole pack, if this was a mod, I'd be like, wow, they have done so much. This is ridiculous. But it's not. It's official.
It's from Nintendo. It's from the biggest game on the Nintendo Switch, one of the most popular consoles of all time. I will say, though, that I had very much fun driving on these tracks, and it is amazing that we're getting 48 new, DLC courses in total. I mean, even though they don't look it, that's just baffling for the price that you're getting so many courses. I'm excited to see what's to come, and maybe you're also excited what's to come, you guys that are watching the video and are still watching here at the end of the video. But Alex, I think that, I don't know, do you have anything else to add to all this?
Remove Toad Circuit. That's it.
Great. But yeah, that was our thoughts. Very mixed bag of feelings on all these tracks. And remember to mash that subscribe button, even though it doesn't look completely up par to the previous installments. But yeah, that was everything. Felix from Nintendo Live here, out. Probably also Alex, but yeah, he's also there.
No, I'm staying here for the duration.